Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 17 Back Battles, where we go on the special battles, not special, championship battle spot ladder. I'm still used to saying special sometimes. And we have the team of Pelipper, Serena, Golduck, Tapu Koko, Metagross, and Garchomp, the Japanese Nationals winning team. And this is the last time we're going to be using this team before I start using my Worlds team for the next episode. And then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. Maybe try out some of the World Championship teams. Maybe build a few more interesting teams. Maybe some more creative teams using more obscure Pokemon like I normally do. I don't know. Maybe I want to showcase some. But anyway, yeah, so tomorrow I actually start classes. So I don't know how the video schedule is going to work. I don't even know how streaming schedule is going to work since I have two different roommates. They're always coming in and out, so it's kind of hard to record even. So I don't know how this is going to work. 15:43. Luckily they're both cool with me recording, but it's like kind of hard when they're going in and out all the time. So we got our first opponent with the team of, actually I really like how this team looks. Salamence, Metagross, Tapu Koko, Nihilego, Marowak, and the Gyarados. The only thing that's pretty strange about my opponent's team is that it kind of doesn't exactly like ground types because of the fact that it's 4 ground weaknesses, 2 immunities though, and 2 intimidate users. So Scarf Garchomp looks fantastic, Rain looks fantastic in my position, but I don't have Ice Beam, which is like the one thing that's kind of stopping me from setting up a sweep here. Yet I don't know, I feel like we could make this work out. Pelipper Golduck seems very solid here, yet I could also go, yeah, Pelipper Golduck seems very solid. I don't see a reason not to. I could also lead Scarf Garchomp, which is definitely a possibility. Maybe like Scarf Garchomp plus Pelipper because of the fact Scarf Earthquake. But I could see like a Gyarados lead. I could see a Salamence lead. I could actually see my opponent just leading both of them. But you shouldn't really lead both of them in my opinion, just because of the fact that you want to have a switch into Earthquake. Because other than those 2 immunities, you're weak to Earthquake. So I'm going to lead Pelipper Golduck since I think it's going to be very solid. I think Garchomp, and I think maybe Tapu Koko in the back because I feel like Tapu Koko is my best way to handle that Salamence. Otherwise, I kind of want to bring the Metagross in case I have to switch in Garchomp and get weakened, because that could potentially be Scarf Nihilego with HP Ice, which if my opponent's able to get a bit of chip damage onto the Garchomp, will be able to KO me with the HP Ice and probably outspeed me, to be honest. But I don't know the spreads. I'm pretty sure this is like Adamant Max Speed Garchomp, so not exactly too sure about that, but it's going to be a Metagross Salamence lead, which is completely okay for me because of the fact I do lead Rain, and unless that's an Assault Vest Metagross, but you don't tend to see Assault Vest Metagross paired with Salamence. Usually it's the Bulldoze Weakness Policy set you're going to be looking at. So I would really love chip damage onto that Salamence. I also would like to get rid of this Metagross turn 1 if possible. So there are a bunch of things I could do. I could also just set up the Tailwind, which I think is very solid here. But I think I'm just going to go for the Hurricane turn 1 because I need the chip damage on Salamence. I want to put it in the range of the Dazzling Gleam from my Tapu Koko, and then maybe Garchomp and Tapu Koko can start sweeping. And I think I'm just going to go for a turn 1 Hydro Vortex because I don't want to risk anything with that Metagross. I don't want to play around with the Metagross. My opponent really doesn't have a switch into Hydro Vortex, and my opponent doesn't protect to scout off the Z move, so this is perfect. So unless this is like a random AB Metagross, you should be going down to this Hydro Vortex or your Sash for some reason. But it should be a weakness policy, I would assume, combined with the Bulldoze combination. So Hydro Vortex is going to be able to knock out this Metagross here, and being able to knock out Metagross is pretty big because that's a Pokemon that my Scarf Garchomp could have activated its weakness policy for, and it could have probably revenge KO'd me afterwards with like a +2 Meteor Mash. So definitely good. And we also learned that Pelipper is faster than Salamence, which is kind of interesting since I feel like Salamence, even, yeah, the damage confirms is Assault Vest, but the fact that most Salamances tend to actually run quite a bit of speed to outspeed like Tapu Koko after the Bulldoze, but that's not the case on this Salamence. Dragon Pulse is going to do about half to my Golduck, which is okay for me. Let's see what my opponent's going to switch into here. It doesn't exactly have a good rain count. I'm guessing Gyarados might want to come in, but either way, I think I'm pretty good. If my opponent wants to knock out Golduck, I can just Tailwind up freely with my Pelipper, and then get my Tapu Koko in. And once Tapu Koko comes in, the Modest Life Orb is going to be paying off dividends against my opponent's team. Nihilego is going to come out. Honestly, I'm not sure. Scarf Nihilego should not be able to outspeed Golduck. Maybe if it's max speed. It could be Sash. That's also another potential possibility. But I think I just want to go for Hurricane into Salamence, and I think I'm just going to go for a Hydro Pump into Nihilego, because the fact that, yeah, I think this, because I don't want him Power Gemming, Dragon Pulsing, knocking out my Pelipper, so I'd rather try to get rid of this Nihilego here. I think it's fine no matter what, because then I get to bring out my Garchomp afterwards. Hydro Pump, it does connect with the Nihilego, fortunately, because my thought process was Scarf Garchomp can clean up in the end, maybe with a Dragon Claw, if I lose my Golduck here, so I don't really need to protect it, and I don't want to make a risky play here, so getting rid of the Nihilego was just very safe for me here, as we do get a Hurricane off, and Salamence is still confused, and let's see, it does hit itself, so unfortunate for my opponent, but I wouldn't mind Golduck went down because I already got rid of 2 Mons, and the fact that whatever's coming in the back, I would assume it would be Gyarados here, but it's actually going to be Tapu Koko. So now I'm pretty much free to set up a Tailwind here, and getting that Tailwind is very crucial. I should just be able to win the game. Even though I've used this team for a long time, I do have to check whether my Garchomp does have Poison Jab. I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't have Poison Jab. Does it Dragon Claw though? Yeah, it does have Dragon Claw. So I might want to be a bit careful. I do want a Tailwind here because the fact I'll be able to outspeed my opponent's team with my Modest Koko and probably just clean up the game from there should be a fact. So I'll just Scald into Tapu Koko. Again, I don't care if Tapu Koko protects. This is the best play for me. And I don't want to risk Hydro Pump when I really don't need to click Hydro Pump to win the game. Look at how much Scald does. That does a good amount. Discharge actually going to come out from my opponent. So that's going to knock out my Golduck and almost knock out Salamence. And unfortunately, my opponent gets a full paralysis on his own Salamence. Let's see if Pelipper gets paralyzed. I don't think it did. Focus Sash. No, it did get paralyzed actually. So I don't think that's too bad for me either way. Let's see. Tailwind is going to be set up. We didn't see a Life Orb, and I don't believe that's Specs, so as Salamence snaps out, but gets fully paralyzed, but I don't think that really mattered, even if we were able to knock out, I mean, you're Assault Vest, you can't set up, the only thing you can do is attack, and Tapu Koko just won the game anyway with Dazzling Gleam. And even Garchomp in the back at this point, I think just wins with Rock Slides. So no matter what, I had this game sealed up. And I feel like it's just me going for straightforward attacks. I didn't have to really predict anything. All I did was just go straight on offense, which is something you can afford to do with Rain. And a lot of players tend to do. So I am just going to... I think I'm going to... No. If this was the best of 3, I would preserve the information. I could go into Garchomp, which I feel like would give me a 100% win. But... yeah. Actually, I don't even need to go into anything because the Salamence is Assault Vest, it can't protect. And then I KO the Salamence here with the Dazzling Gleam. Even if Koko somehow gets it to protect, I still win with my Scarf Garchomp being able to click Earthquake or even Flamethrower potentially just to knock out the Tapu Koko. So I will pick up the first victory for today. So very nice start. I feel like just playing, I don't know. I feel like that Salamence was super bulky. It really was bulky. The fact that it took, I think, like less than 25% from Hurricane is kind of insane. That's a lot of bulk on Salamence. But then again, this isn't Modest Pelipper, so maybe that's also affecting my damage calcs. But the fact that it was able to take the Hurricane so well, and the fact it was slow, I'm really surprised. I feel like most Salamence, you should probably try to, if you're on a Assault Vest set, you should try to outspeed 1 Tapu Koko after Bulldoze, and 2 neutral speed nature Pheromosa, because in cases like Sash or something, you can Bulldoze and then Flamethrower to pick up the knockout. So that's just my opinion, but we're going to continue moving on to the next game. And yeah, this team has been actually picking up some quick wins. I didn't realize how short the last video was, if you haven't already seen that video, but we had 3 battles, and I think it only took like 25-26 minutes, to be honest. So, as we find Blue from Japan as our next opponent, 1535, we are in the 1600s, I would like to stay there, using a QR code team, and I don't think I've ever seen this team. Marowak, Kartana, Gengar, Gigalith, Tapu Fini, Tapu Koko. Okay, this is strange. This is definitely a strange team. No speed control, which is interesting. Unless it's Trick Room Gengar. It could be Trick Room Gengar, which I do have to suspect, because it does look like kind of a Trick Room team, but you can never really tell. Okay, like the rain mode isn't bad here. The problem is the Gigalith. Like the Gigalith is a huge problem. Maybe I want to go like Metagross isn't bad here. Yeah, it doesn't like Shadow Ball, Shadow Bone, or Kartana. Well, it's fine against Kartana with the Hammer Arm. This is gonna be a hard one. This is gonna be a hard one. I can't see like an effective plan that can guarantee me a victory. I think it's gonna be all about reads here because there's no safe mode I can really go for, especially if that Gigalith is carrying Wide Guard, which I would have to assume. You have 4 Pokemon weak to ground once again, and that's why I think Garchomp's one of the best Pokemon in VGC 17. The fact that it just covers so much of these strong Pokemon such as Marowak, Garchomp, Gigalith, Metagross. But anyway, let's see. I think I'll lead Golduck, Tapu Koko here with Pelipper and Garchomp in the back. I kind of want, maybe I should have led Golduck, Garchomp, which I was thinking, but like I was hesitant on that lead just because of the fact that Gigalith could have Wide Guard. If I had Tectonic Rage on Garchomp, it might have made this game a lot easier. Although it could be like some kind of like, I don't know, this is best of 1, and I know Japan has some tricks for best of 1. It could be like an HPS Gengar. In fact, my opponent leads Gengar Tapu Koko against my Golduck plus Tapu Koko. So this is this is going to be interesting. Electric Surge is going to activate on the battlefield. I would have loved to have led Garchomp here, but this is Scarf Gengar. I'm guessing maybe just, it could be Scarf Gengar too, maybe just a Sludge Bomb here into Tapu Koko and a Thunderbolt into Golduck or a Volt Switch. I think my best place to go into Garchomp because Garchomp should be able to live 1 Dazzling Gleam combination, and I'll just protect Tapu Koko here just to scout. This is going to be a very scary matchup. It also depends on that item on Gengar. Also, if Gengar gets a Cursed Body and it is Focus Sash, that's definitely a problem, as Garchomp will come out. As we could see a Trick Room here potentially, which could be very scary, but I don't think I can risk anything here. Especially, it's like a mind game between Scarf, which it looks like it's not. Oh, it is Trick Room. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. So it is Trick Room Gengar, which I did suspect potentially, but I mean, he went for Electro Ball into Garchomp. I would assume it's Focus Sash Gengar. I don't think I had anything that could really stop that, so that's a bit unfortunate. So in this Trick Room, I doubt it can KO my Garchomp. Maybe a Shadow Ball Gleam combination. Electro Ball is also interesting move on the Tapu Koko. I think my best play here is actually to withdraw my own Tapu Koko and go into Pelipper and just go for Earthquake, because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure my opponent knows the team, but I don't know, maybe there's a chance that Tapu Koko protects and Gengar tries to go for some chip damage, but I'm going to try to get Pelipper in right here, get up the rain, and let's just see how this is going to go, because I really need damage right here. Sludge Bomb's going to come out and target down my Tapu Koko slot, and I'm guessing that's a Gleam here, which is going to be a bit unfortunate, especially since I got poisoned. It's Scarf Tapu Koko? There's no way. That's Scarf Tapu Koko. Oh my lord, okay. That is actually fantastic for me. Unfortunately, the poison really sucks though. And the Cursed Body really sucks here. Like, the Cursed Body really sucks here, but I guess it's not the worst thing. But the poison really does suck here. Oh, we're able to survive. Okay, that's actually not bad then. Unfortunately, the poison really screws things up. It really does. Because if I want to keep the weather, I have to switch out Pelipper. Because of the fact that, like, I could have protected Pelipper for 1 turn because of the fact that I would have been able to live like a sand. But now if Gigalith comes in, I'm pretty sure just Rock Slide is very free here. This is not looking good. This is not looking good. But the fact that we already have 2 turns of Trick Room gone, so there are 3 more after this. The game is going to be a bit weird. This is going to definitely be a strange one. Especially since I feel like I'm going to have to sack 2 Pokemon, and I think that's going to come down to like what's in the back. Tapu Fini is going to come out, which is actually very interesting. Well, since we're timid Pelipper, I'm guess. Well, I don't know. I can't really say anything for certain. I think my best shot of having anything live is going out into Golduck here, and because if my opponent wants to go for a Moonblast in a Garchomp, I will be able to knock out the Gengar with a Scald here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Scald in the Gengar. Like, there's no point of keeping Pelipper around. I really don't think it's useful. Yes, I can spam Scarf Earthquake with Pelipper on the field, but Tapu Koko is necessary because I don't have much for Tapu Fini. Electro Ball can do a lot of Gigalith, so if I get a bit of chip damage onto the Gigalith, I feel like it's more worth it. And yeah, we're just gonna see Muddy Water. I'm pretty sure Muddy Water plus Sludge Bomb will knock me out. Maybe if it specs. Okay, if it specs, this could be bad, but I don't think that specs damage. That's just rain damage, and I'm pretty sure Sludge Bomb is going to come out, and that's not going to be able to KO me. Shadow Ball, actually. Okay, that's fine. It's going to target Golduck. Yeah, I'm going to be able to survive. Now it's like, what do I go into? That was the third turn of Trick Room. There are 2 turns of Trick Room left. I need Tapu Koko. I feel like I'll need Garchomp in the end game. I need all 3 somehow. I think I'm going to have to rely on a double protect potentially with one of my Pokemon. So I think the best play is to go into Tapu Koko. This is going to be hard. This end game is definitely a bit harder than I expect. But let's see. So there are 2 turns of Trick Room left. This is gonna be hard. Scald is okay here. No, I have to protect. I have to double protect, I feel like, and then I have to. Then I'm gonna have to switch out again and hope for a double somehow. I feel like that's the only way I can really win this game right now. So I'm gonna protect my Tapu Koko here and Golduck, and I will switch into Garchomp, I think. Moonblast is going to come out into the Golduck slot, and a Sludge Bomb and a Tapu Koko. And I could go for the double with Koko. I feel like the better place to go into Garchomp. I think I'll just Scald the Gengar slot and go for the Garchomp switch in, because I need Tapu Koko. Like, Tapu Koko is like the one thing that's saving me in this game potentially. So I will switch out Tapu Koko here. Go into Garchomp. And if he Moonblasts, I guess that's fine. He's just gonna Muddy Water, and that's probably Muddy Water Shadow Ball, I would assume, because it would KO Tapu Koko. I don't think Shadow Ball will be able to knock me out, which is okay here. Like, it's definitely okay here. And yeah, Shadow Ball's gonna come out, which is fine. That shouldn't KO Garchomp, and if it does, that's a problem. Yeah, it doesn't KO me, which is good. Now I have to avoid getting Cursed Body. That's like the one thing that's gonna be annoying about this game. But I do feel like I put myself in a position that I can win now. Do I Rock Slide or do I just Thunderbolt? Or I could just Dragon Claw. I think Dragon Claw might be the better play. So I'm just going to Thunderbolt the Tapu Fini and go for... If he switches out on Gigalith here, that's bad though. I actually think Rock Slide is the better play. I also get a chance to flinch maybe the Gigalith in the back if my opponent did bring the Gigalith, which I would kind of assume he would bring Gigalith in this position. I really think he would. So let's see here. If my opponent sends out Gigalith, I think that's a choke, because I get a Rock Slide Thunderbolt combination off no matter what. I don't know. I definitely don't think my opponent switches on the Gigalith, but this covers like him Tapu Fini switching out into Gigalith and then resetting the terrain so the Tapu Fini is able to live 1 Thunderbolt. Yeah, so Rock Slide. I do risk having to connect on Gengar, but I just need to connect on the Gengar, as Rock Slide does a lot to Tapu Fini. It's a crit, but I don't think the crit oh no. Not the Cursed Body, no, that's not what I wanted. Why is it 50? Okay, Thunderbolt does knock out the Tapu Fini, but I think I lose to Gigalith, unless Electro Ball crits. Or maybe I have to go for the Thunderbolt Para. Rain stops, but Gigalith should be coming in, but I'm forced to struggle with Garchomp, which is very annoying. Yeah, Gigalith is the last Pokemon, so... Electro Ball is a base power of 150. Although Thunderbolt, I don't know, I might have to go for the full para here, or crit. Electro Ball crit is more likely than a Thunderbolt para plus full para, I think, because it's a 10% and then a 25% chance. So I think I'd rather go for the crit here with Electro Ball and struggle. Maybe the struggle damage could put this Gigalith in range of where I need it to be. So let's see here, struggle. That actually does a decent amount, as Garchomp will go down. The Rock Slide might have been so clutch though. Electro Ball will come out. And this is insane, so I don't think it's going to KO. Oh, it did. And that will be a good game. Wow. Electro Ball KOs Gigalith. Huh. I did not know that. I did not know that. Wow, Tapu Koko, my Tapu Koko is stronger than I thought. Alright YouTube, we are back for a third game, so I had to cut that out, and let's just get straight into it. Anyway, already forgot the last battle. So luckily we found an early opponent, 1650 rated player from Spain. We got Massa, I don't know how you pronounce it. But this team is really cool. The Buzzwole, Politoed, Tapu Koko, Tapu Bulu, Metagross, and Marowak. So this is a very interesting team. Let's see, I think Buzzwole under Rain is a very, very strong combination because the fact that most teams, the way they deal with Buzzwole is either you have one of the Tapus of Lele, Fini, and Koko, or you use Arcanine, which is the main source. Of course, there's like Marowak and Metagross, of course, but actually, okay, my opponent doesn't exactly have the best answers to Metagross. I wouldn't be surprised if that's an Assault Vest Buzzwole with Bulldoze, seeing the Metagross on his team. Could be Z-Move on Tapu Koko. The Politoed I'm unsure of, whether it's Scarf potentially, or it could be just standard like a Parasong Rain setup endgame Pokemon. So I don't know, Hydro Vortex looks very, very strong here. Like, I don't see a switch-in. Like, my opponent doesn't exactly have a switch-in to Hurricane plus Hydro Vortex other than a Politoed, and I can always handle Politoed at a later point. I think Tapu Koko is pretty good, even though there's a Marowak. Like, you have to bring the Marowak against Rain, and that's always a problem for these opponents. And I think Metagross for the Tapu Bulu, and as well as, you know, it can just hit a lot of things on my opponent's team hard, especially the Buzzwole and the Tapu Bulu. Of course, Zen Headbutt could be great for the endgame as well. So let's see how this is going to go. What would my opponent lead? I'm not exactly sure. I could see Politoed in the back or in the front, but we're going to see it as a lead, which is okay for me, because I get to click Hydro Vortex. I wonder what my opponent's going to do, though. I wonder what's my opponent's going to do. I don't mind wasting the Hydro Vortex in the Tapu Koko right here. I do want a Tailwind up, just because with Tailwind, my Pelipper will be guaranteed to outspeed any kind of Buzzwole variant. I mean, on Rain, the most common set you usually see is Life Orb or Gigavolt Havoc Tapu Koko. You don't really see Assault Vest on Rain. I think Tailwind is very safe here, just because I need to outspeed the Buzzwole. And I'm going to go straight for the Hydro Vortex. And even if my opponent, let's say, protects, that doesn't really matter. I don't care if you switch out either. Politoed was the Pokemon that really just took that Hydro Vortex well. Tapu Bulu is going to come in, which is fine, because I can always Hurricane the Tapu Bulu the following turn, unless Politoed is able to get a 2 KO, which I kind of doubt, to be honest. And again, the fact that I have the Hydro Vortex, this is going to do a decent amount. This should do at least 60% to Tapu Bulu. It could be a Berry Tapu Bulu, which could be problematic, yet I think I'm okay with that. Scald, I think, from Politoed, unless it's like a Specs variant or some kind of boosted item, will be a 3 KO on Pelipper. Unless this has like a random HP Electric. I guess Encore could be a thing. Wow, look at the Hydro Vortex damage. Pretty sure that's Berry. Oh, it's a critical hit. That's unfortunate for my opponent, especially if you're going for the Encore on the Tailwind part, because I could definitely see that coming out. Hidden Power Electric. Okay. Oh, no. That's not Hidden Power Electric. That's Hidden Power Grass. Ooh, so Tech for Gastrodon. Too bad it doesn't really work in my opponent's favor here. But Leftover Tapu Bulu. Okay, I haven't seen that one in ages. But, okay, that's good. That is pretty good for me. HP Electric. Interesting. So, okay. What do I want to do here? HP Electric's a bit interesting. I think I'm just going to Hurricane the Tapu Bulu slot. Although Tapu Bulu is most likely going to protect, I don't want to risk anything. My opponent might stack Tapu Bulu, might decide to keep it in. I kind of want to go Tapu Koko here because it does, one, gets rid of this grassy terrain, which is kind of annoying for my opponent's team, as well as I think I can just start spamming Dazzling Gleam. Because of the Marowak in the back, it is a bit problemsome. So I'm probably going to have to Scald that Tapu Bulu slot, or, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have to Scald that Tapu Bulu slot, or I could just Dazzle, and, yeah. So Tapu Bulu is going to protect, which, you know, I kind of was assuming, but I didn't want to take that chance. I'd rather just Hurricane into the protect, because the Thunderbolt can knock out Politoed. Oh, what is this? Hydro Vortex. Wow, this is an interesting Politoed. I don't know who that's going. Oh, wait, that's not. No, it is Hydro Vortex. Okay, is that going into the Goldex slot? Yeah, very solid play on my opponent's part. Except, Unless you're predicting that switch in, which I think my opponent did. Otherwise, if he was predicting Protect and thought Hydro Vortex was going to KO, I don't think it was. That makes this game a lot harder. But we do have my Metagross, and my Metagross can do a lot of work with just a Meteor Mash right now. And I think I can just Hurricane the Politoed very freely here. Which, wow, my opponent is running circles against me right now. Let's go for this Hurricane, and I think I will just go for a Meteor Mash. My opponent doesn't exactly have a switch in. I assume Marowak maybe. But man, Hydro Vortex Politoed, that is interesting. I feel like, I don't think I've ever seen that really. Politoed's going to Protect here, which is no surprise here, but I am going to be able to get the KO. Assuming I connect Meteor Mash, which is okay for me. Yes, I do connect Meteor Mash, excellent. So the Tapu Bulu is going to go down. If I get Attack Boost here, that would be great, but nope. But that's okay because of the fact now the Politoed has wasted its Protect. Tapu Koko is probably coming out, and I would assume Protecting, and then the Politoed's going to go for an attack into my Pelipper slot to break the Sash, so you prevent Tailwind from being set up next turn. Yeah, I kind of already understand. Yep, Tapu Koko is going to come out. I'm very 100% sure that's just going to Protect right here. The problem is a life or... There are multiple plays I can do. I could go out into my... Okay, since I feel like you 100% have to protect Tapu Koko here, because I think I have to start making reads now. I think what I do is I go for Hurricane into the Politoed slot, and I'm gonna go into Golduck here. Next turn is the last turn of rain, so I do have to be wary of that, but I feel like this is the best play possible. I get my Golduck in, as Tapu Koko is forced to protect here. Yep, and we should see probably a Scald or Hidden Power into my Pelipper slot. I would probably just go for Scald, to be honest. Hurricane's going to do a decent amount to that Politoed and get the Confusion, which is very nice. If it hits itself, I get to keep my Sash, and I'm in a very solid position. So let's see, but no, breaks through, gets an Ice Beam off, so that's interesting. Ice Beam, Scald. Ice Beam is not a KO, which is nice since I can go for Tailwind here. And I'm gonna Hydro Pump the Tapu Koko. Yes, I could go for Encore, but this is to catch a Marowak on the switch in, and my opponent predicts the Encore. And I think I really have to go for this Hydro Pump right here, since I feel like it is more likely I win if I go for Hydro Pump, because I get the KO on either Tapu Koko or the fact I catch Marowak on the switch in. And if I catch Marowak on the switch in, I think my Metagross can just potentially just win this game right here and now. So either way, I think no matter what is the best possible play. This is the last turn of rain, which is kind of worrisome because I'm not going to be able to have 100% accurate Hurricanes yet. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a tough end game. We'll see how this goes though. As Hydro Pump does connect with Tapu Koko, always have to hold my breath when going for Hydro Pump. It does KO the Tapu Koko, which is huge. Tapu Koko is a huge threat, especially since most of them carry Thunder on these rain teams, especially with Life Orb, would be able to knock out anything on my team, except Metagross, but Metagross would still be taking a lot, as my opponent going to go for Hydro Pump into Golduck instead of HP Grass. Okay, I guess my opponent was going for a safe play just to catch the Metagross, but I don't know, I feel like it was very unlikely I would go into Metagross there. As I am going to go into Metagross now though. If it is Marowak in the back, I wish I had Earthquake here because Earthquake would be such a safe play. But it's actually going to be the Metagross on my opponent's side of the field, which is very, very interesting. I do want residual damage on that Metagross with the Scald, and I feel like just going for the Zen Headbutt into the Politoed is the best play. I could double up the Politoed, but I don't want to risk hitting Hurricane when I don't think I need to. I'd rather get necessary damage, and not sure if Hydro Pump can even knock out Pelipper, so I feel like he has to attack with Metagross here, which he does. Look at that damage with Scald, and I get the burn. That is beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. We do land the Zen Headbutt, which is very fortunate here, onto that Politoed, which does a very solid amount. Bullet Punch might be able to KO, as the Metagross is going to go for another Zen Headbutt. That's not going to KO Pelipper, thanks to the burn, and Politoed, confused, goes for the Hydro Pump, does connect it onto my Metagross, but that is fine. That's absolutely fine here, as I don't think my Pelipper is in range for Bullet Punch either, so no matter what, I am in a very solid position here. I think I could just go for I could just protect Pelipper, because I don't think my opponent targets down my Metagross with his own Metagross, unless he has maybe something like a Tectonic Rage. but we already saw, or Earthquake potentially, but Earthquake won't KO my Metagross thanks to the burn. I don't think it would have KO'd even if I didn't get the burn. Plus the fact that Politoed, pretty sure Bullet Punch will knock out Politoed. I think Bullet Punch will knock out Politoed, and I'm pretty sure Politoed might just decide to protect here, which is why I'm going for this play no matter what. And I'm very sure, okay, snaps out, yeah, goes for protect, which I kind of expected. And then let's see what the Metagross goes for. It's probably gonna just go for a Zen Headbutt once again. I really can't see anything else. Meteor Mash into the Pelipper, which I don't think KOs. Maybe he's going for Meteor Mash into Bullet Punch and hoping he gets the attack raise, yet I don't think it really matters too much here. Scald should be able to knock out the Politoed. I'm not 100% sure about Meteor Mash. But I'll go for Hammer Arm into his Metagross now. I'm pretty sure Politoed has to go for a double here. Doesn't get it. Very fortunate. But Scald will be able to finish it off. I feel like this was the best play possible. I could have doubled up in the Metagross slot. That was definitely a potential play I did. But I didn't want Politoed to get like a crit Hydro Pump, and that could have sealed up the game. And if I missed Hammer Arm there, that would have also been bad. So no matter what, like, I was risking some things, but I'd rather just go for the Skull and the into the Politoed and not risk the Bullet Punch roll because I'm still quite unsure. So Pelipper does go down, but I don't think this Metagross, even with EQ, can finish off this game. Metagross will be able to live a Bullet Punch. Although I still think Bullet Punch is my correct play because I'm not going to be, like, the way he wins this is he has Earthquake, or I don't know. Does Metagross get rest? I don't even know. But the way he wins this game potentially is by going for a Earthquake right here, as the match is going to be forfeited. And even if he crit the Earthquake there, he was burned anyway. So Pelipper coming in clutch. If he didn't get that burn, it might have been a bit of a different story, but I think it comes down to whether his Politoed was able to get some double protects or not. And then if he had an actual way to touch my Metagross, because I feel like my Metagross would have been decently healthy. Yeah, it would have been decently healthy. I would have probably just went for... Actually, if I didn't get the burn on Metagross, well, I wouldn't have lived as Zen Headbutt, so... Yeah, I definitely did get a bit lucky in that game, but I feel like I made the plays that I needed to win. Scald, you know, it's Scald. It burns. But anyway, hope that everyone did enjoy today's episode. I think that's long enough. If you want to check out my other content, feel free to down below. There's a link in the description to the playlist as well as the previous episode and my social media if you want to check it out. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them down below. And anyway, I am quite excited to, you know, as I said before, I will be trying to provide daily content. Well, not daily. It's going to be hard to do daily content in college while I'm adjusting. But I do hope to bring content like frequently, like at least 4 times a week. But we'll see how this happens. Again, streaming is kind of weird. Like, I think the way I do streaming is when I have one roommate, because currently I have 2 roommates, so it's 3 of us in one room. And what they're doing is they're going to be moving some people out, and potentially one of my roommates very likely will be actually move out, or maybe I'll be moving out to like a 2-person bunk. So hopefully that could really help, because if it's only one other person, I think it's really easy for me to stream. But anyway, hope that everyone enjoyed, and I will see you around next time.